Let's get MoGraph TV going. Send out the bat signal. Sharing with my one friend on Facebook.
When we get off here, I need to log into our info at MoGraph account.
Okay.
But I need your help with it because I
Okay.
think you're the admin of the account.
Oh yeah. Getting that thriller generic music going so we don't get sued. All right. Is that your costume? Oh yeah.
I'm a fanboy. That's what I
You're a
am.
fanboy. You're a VR man.
My head's gonna like just droop the whole time.
Just say here, my costume is Don Allen.
I'm doing this entire thing through Instagram Live.
Yeah. Oh, who we got here? Jen, Todd, John Haley. What's up, y'all? We are.
What's up, John Haley? It was nice seeing you in New York.
Oh, you saw him more recently than Camp MoGraph?
Yeah, just the other day. I was in New York.
Oh, nice.
That NAB
Spooky
dough.
special. Oh boy.
What?
Oh boy.
Somebody's got something on. Is that you?
That was me.
Gosh. Okay. All right.
Focus right.
Well, I think we're just gonna get right into it. Are you ready for this?
Ready.
Am I ready for this?
Oh, they've got like Halloween emojis on YouTube.
Ooh.
Oh, they do? Ooh, spooky.
Hand pink waving. It's funny.
Game over.
Okay.
Yours didn't come up in the feed, but everyone else's did. That's weird.
Oh, really?
It just everybody's like putting.
Oh, no.
No, yours didn't
Text
either.
Screen game over.
Weird.
Uh,
Wonder why
I
that.
see
I wonder why
that.
some
Sorry.
of them work and some
Maybe
of them
it's
don't.
because they're like default ones or something like that.
Like in our
they
chat,
just
they
change
get
them
weird.
in YouTube.
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't get something to drink. I might have to do that in the middle of the show. So,
It's fine.
all right, you ready to do
chat.
this? Let's go.
Yeah, sure. why not?
Ready.
All right, here we go. What's up, and welcome to our spooky special 2023. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. Joining us this week on this episode is Mr. David Ariew himself.
AKA John Schneer.
Schnare.
The only cool Halloween costume I have.
And EJ isn't able to make it. He's overseas right now. Who knows what country he's in at the moment?
He's in London right now.
He's in foggy London
He's
town?
already in London. Yeah, he's been there a couple days. He was in Africa for like forever.
Yeah. Foggy London town. So
Foggy London town.
maybe he'll see that we're on and give us a little ring and he can do a call in. We will do some call-ins today if people would like to call in. I'm going to put that up here. We're not going to ask for call-ins yet. We're going to start off the show and then we'll ask for call-ins. But in order to call, you're going to do MoGraph calls on Skype. So get your Skype ready. Make
Ooh,
sure
that
that
was
your
smart.
stuff is ready. Make sure your microphone's ready and all the things and that it's going to work. And when you call in, we're going to put you in the queue before we do the actual reveal. So don't talk until we summon you once you're in the call. Okay. So that's how we're going to do it. But we're
I
first.
put in a
we're going to catch
I put
up.
in a QR code for my presentation at NAB this past week. I'm not sure if anyone caught that. It was pretty
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
I did see that. That was.
It was
that
a Rickroll.
Yeah, it was a Rickroll. You Rickrolled everybody.
Yeah, all 65 people watching the live stream.
So you had NAB East. You did the
Yes.
NAB East. How did that go?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was good. You know, had a lot of fun. I'm super burnt out on traveling,
I bet.
and I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, we're about to go to
You
4
haven't even
different
started.
cities. Yeah.
Yeah. Try going to
So-
Hong Kong, bro. That
Yeah.
shit. Like, I was fine on the way there. The jet lag wasn't bad. We,
Yeah.
like, adapted within, like, a day or two.
Yeah.
But then on the way back, it's been, like, it feels like getting sick. It's like 5 or
Yeah.
6 days of just, like, sleeping.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, you know, there's a thing with, and I'm sure you know this, like going to events and being I don't know, when I was in my 20s it was not an issue. Now that I'm in my 40s, it's like going to a show and being on the whole time,
Totally.
and then like for like days straight, and then just being like, okay, I'm done. Like
Yeah.
you need that you need nothing. You
Yeah,
need
the
to not-
decompression time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, even Camp MoGraph, I mean, it was so fun, but like
Uh-huh.
just being engaged and constantly talking to people and doing things,
Yep.
it's like we're not used to that. So it's like it can be very, very exhausting afterwards.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, I was in my 20s and feeling that way. So now I'm like, so Matt, you're leaving for Europe tomorrow for the DAT
No,
tour.
I am
right?
leaving
Or today.
for Europe
Today.
in 4 hours.
Oh God.
Today. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. And you are going to London first.
We're going to London first. So we'll be in London for a couple of days before the show. So if there's any
Yeah.
mographers that want to hang out, hit me up. I am specifically looking for tickets to the West Ham Arsenal game. If there are any London people who can get me a hookup on that, because I waited too long to buy tickets and now they're sold out. So
There
I
you
would
go.
really love to go support my Hammers if anyone
the
can
word
get me
out.
tickets.
When is that
please.
game? Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. It's on the
It's
first.
tomorrow.
Well, no,
Okay.
sorry. It's on the first, which my time zones are going to be all messed up because I leave tonight, but I don't get in until like the 31st, and then the game is technically not till the 1st. So
Gotcha.
it's on the 1st.
Now, the show will be on the 2nd of November.
Correct.
I've got to figure out all these
Which
times for the streams.
Is officially sold out as of right
yes.
now.
I can't believe
Yes.
it, man. Last week we were talking about, well, we're doing all right. We got like 37 tickets. And then in the
Yeah.
last couple days, we sold, I don't know how many.
The rest.
60 some, the rest.
Nice.
So, and so we're between the tickets and crew, we're at 130 people.
Yeah.
And
Which
we just can't add
we're-
anybody else.
Well, we're talking they can add some more people, but it's a huge cost for us, to add some more-
$90 per person.
Yeah, $110 a person.
Right.
It's £90 per person.
Yes.
So like it's a thing. We're talking it over with Maxon and seeing if they want to add some more tickets. So there's that chance. But even if not, we Ariev's on the phone.
Ariel's
I
just taking
love
a
that.
call.
Even if not, we will still be hanging out afterwards. Odds are EJ's going to send us to a brewery or something like
Right.
that, or some bar, and we'll all just meet up then. So,
Yeah.
if you miss the DOT show specific, the DOT proper
Still
show,
meet up with
there's
people.
still the meetup. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, $110 a person when we're charging $20 a ticket is not going to work to add those
Exactly,
people.
yeah.
Once you go over that number, I don't get it. But that's
Yeah.
that's a good problem to have. And the other thing I'm going to say is if you cannot make that show and you're able to get to one of the other shows like Paris, Berlin,
Yeah,
or
Europe's tiny, right?
Barcelona. Yeah, it's tiny. No, well, here's the thing. It's not, I mean, it's not tiny, but it's like, if you're in
Yeah.
Texas and you're going from Dallas to Houston, that's
Yeah.
kind of like the same thing as going from like London
Right.
to not necessarily Paris.
Paris.
Like I don't maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You
I
take
don't
the
know my
tube, right?
geography that well.
It's a 6 hour.
All I know is I've been to London and you can get on what is the equivalent of Southwest Airlines and do a quick,
Yeah.
couple
a round
hours.
trip is $56. So
there you go. See?
Let's come hang out with us in Paris.
I mean, it's a little more complicated now because of Brexit, right? Like, you
I
can't just like
guess. I
walk
don't
in
know.
like you used to. But
Speaking
see
of,
us.
do I need to have a print off of all of my serial numbers and everything for everything?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, I
We'll
have a
need to-
spreadsheet with you.
Yeah, I'll need that spreadsheet. I'll need
You
to
have it.
print it off again.
You're attached on it.
All right.
You're doing good. You're doing
Yeah,
good.
dude.
Just make sure you got those electricity converters.
I do.
Things.
I've got all of them. Yeah.
Make sure all of that works. Can cross my fingers. We have no issues there.
Yeah.
Don't
We got 2 days
don't
to
blow
figure it
out my
out.
laptop. Start my
Yeah.
laptop on fire. But
Run
yeah,
into that issue again.
yeah. No, that actually is something I think that like laptops are set up to do either of those
Are they?
voltages. Yeah, I think
I'm
you
pretty
can do
sure
that.
the Zoom is as well. I think there's like a little slider that you
switch,
can slide
yeah.
over. Yeah,
But theoretically, we don't have to change anything if you got those converters. So,
correct. Yeah.
yeah, maybe one of our friends there can help us out, making sure we're not doing anything weird.
Right.
You Europeans and your weird plugs, especially
Yeah,
the
they
one.
got a
What's
Hong Kong, too.
what's interesting
Yeah.
is that it's different in both the UK and other European countries. Like, I think I would assume y'all just carry it around with you if you're gonna go to another city. Like, it's more common
right.
there than it is here. Like here,
Right.
every state that you go to, or if you go to Canada, it's all the same.
Yeah. But they got the
Oh.
3 prongs everywhere except for in the UK. And the UK has those weird, or maybe I have this back. No, UK has the weird 2 prongs. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, where's the ground? You guys not ground anything here?
They do. It comes out when you stick the thing in, I believe. So like you put the 2 prongs in and it pushes another prong out, which is the
Into it?
ground. I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense if that's how it works.
Yeah. I don't know. I could
well,
be
if
wrong.
it's very.
Well, if it's very.
Are y'all doing anything for Halloween this year?
Yeah, I'll be on a
No.
flight.
Right.
And then I'll be recovering from all my jet lag. It kind of sucks, Like, it's my kid's 3rd Halloween or whatever. I won't be able to be here for it. One of my kids is dressing up as Elvis, and then my youngest, he's a firefighter in a fire truck. So,
Oh, that's
very
fun.
cute. Yeah.
See, I
I was
got
gonna
one.
go to Harrison Vincent's Halloween party, but then we were like pretty much snowed in and jet lagged, and we just.
Oh yeah. So did you go?
No.
Oh, I got to hang out with Harrison in New York. Super cool guy.
cool.
I really
Yeah,
like that
he's
guy.
amazing. He's
Yeah.
got this new piece, short film that he made. I think it took him like 6 or 8 months. It's like freaking ridiculous. It's so good. I'll post a link.
Mega
Yeah.
super talented. He presented at NAB this past week. So if y'all are interested, check out his work.
Yeah, I got one kid that's like not too old for Halloween, but maybe too old for trick or treating, and the other one's
Right.
getting into it.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna be a witch, and it's still at the point where you just go to like 3 houses and you're good.
Right.
And the other one, she's doing her own thing, having parties, watching Five Nights at Freddy's with her friends.
Nice.
you
I was
know.
gonna say she was pretty big into Five Nights at Freddy's, wasn't she?
She's so big into that.
Yeah.
Like, she's been like that for years. So she knows all the lore. And
Yeah.
it's funny, I keep hearing these boomers talking about how Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't that good and they didn't get it and all this. It's like, well, yeah, you don't know the lore. You didn't
Yeah.
play all the games. You don't know the backstories. You don't know about, what is it called? Dream Core? What is it called? The Dream
I have
something?
no clue. I have never played it.
The fact that like there's a fan theory that like some of the games were a dream and all of this stuff, right? And there's like a YouTuber that shows up and he says something and everyone's like, "Oh, he said the thing," but
Yeah.
nobody knows what that is, and the boomer's like, "Oh, it's not that good," but that's why it's doing so well.
Yeah.
Like the box.
Yeah, I
office
mean,
number-
if you look at the tomato meter or whatever, like with critics, it's 26%, but like with audiences, it's 90%.
right,
You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
it's like the people who are going to see this are not me, who know nothing about it. It's going to be the fans of it and the kids who have been, watching it and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. So I that's funny. 26% on Rotten Tomatoes for real.
Yeah, 26 critic score.
Critic score. Yeah, and see that's the thing. There's going to be a part 2 now because it did so well.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it cost $25 million to make, and they've made $80 million this weekend.
Yeah. It's just the boomers don't
that's
get it.
insane, and that's not even counting the money that that Peacock paid to them to
Right.
be able to stream it the same day as the theater. You're
is a
talking about
great
like
idea.
what I think is incredible is that like there is a streaming service that you can watch it on day one, yet it is still doing so well in the theaters.
Right.
It just goes to show that like if you take something original and it's not like, a Marvel movie that we're all burnt out on or something like that, it's like you can still be very successful with it.
Yeah, it's something that people want to go to the theater with their friends, especially this movie because it's a younger fan base for sure. they want to go with their friends and watch it together and maybe dress up or whatever they want to do. You know? So I'm interested. I haven't talked to my daughter yet about what she thought about it. I know she logged on to watch it as soon as it came on or whatever.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want any spoilers. That's the thing.
Right.
She didn't want to see spoilers on TikTok. So, whatever.
Sorry, I had to take off my costume.
Oh.
My
Yeah.
My VR costume. My head was starting to droop and like
it was reflecting the green anyway.
Head banging neck.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go outside out front of the house. The neighborhood I used to live in was huge into trick or treating, and this one isn't. It's a little bit more. There's more kids starting to show up, but it's not. It's just standard. It's not anything crazy. So I think I'm gonna go put the smoke machines from camp out front, set up my DJ table, play some stuff, make sure I got to get those non-explicit lyrics going. Don't want to piss off the neighbors.
I mean, and then you get like full-size candy bars. You'll have the party at your house, Yeah,
well, I don't necessarily want the party at my house, so we'll stick with...
Be careful, because once you start showing off all that stuff, they know what kind of equipment you have.
Yeah.
And your house is going to get broken into.
Yeah. My $300 DJ table.
Right.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that, and the kids aren't going to be able to, at least, I've just gotten into it. The kids won't know that I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
Right? I'll just fake it a little bit.
Get like a marshmallow head or something like that.
Julie said I should be Dead Mouse.
Oh, there you go.
If I would have thought that through, I could have gotten a fake Dead Mouse head, but I don't think I can get that in one day. I guess I could do a fake marshmallow with some poster board.
Yeah, you could do a fake marshmallow pretty easily. Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah. Dead Mouse, I think you need a lot of like paper mache and stuff like that.
You know, spherical, if I can do cylindrical projection.
Yes, cylinders are way easier than spheres.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
It's been a rough October for me. So I feel like I missed a lot of the fun of Halloween and the fall stuff. But I'll just continue into November. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, even my candles showed up late. I was out of pumpkin pecan
waffles. Know how much
waffles.
You love those fall candles.
It's specifically the pumpkin pecan waffles from Bath and Body. You know it's the best.
Right.
You know it's the best.
Gross.
It sounds disgusting, honestly.
It is disgusting.
It is the best candle.
Like Dave loves it, but walking into his house in like Christmas or fall season, it is just this whiff of
smells
pecan,
like candy.
Whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
oh
god.
I don't like the candles that smell like food. I like I don't know.
Yeah, it does
like
make
those
me hungry.
Cheeseburger candles, those are so gross.
Yeah.
They make Little Debbie's candles now. They've got like oatmeal cream pie and I don't what is it? Nutter butter? Nutty Buddy? Nutter butter.
Yeah.
And the
Nutty
strawberry rolls. Nutty Buddy?
Nutter butters are a completely different thing.
But one is an ice cream and one is a candy bar. I don't remember the difference.
I have no idea.
Maybe somebody does.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, who's going to call in? I'm going to put this up here. Scan to call. It's MoGraph calls.
That's cool. That makes it real easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Scan to call.
Scan to call. Call us on Skype, and hopefully it works. Unless I did it wrong. I think it works. If not, I'll figure it out. So give us a call. We're going to ask you about your Halloween, what you got going on. We did do that one year where we did the client stories from hell.
That was one of the worst episodes.
It depressed us.
So
it was so
right.
depressing.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, we started getting into it, and we're like, man, either it's depressing or people don't want to say all the details because they're like, well, if my client's listening to this,
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was watching some of the back episodes the other day too, so I caught part of it. And we will be showing those back episodes on MoGraph TV after this if anybody wants to stick around on MoGraph TV and watch that. I found the other ones. I think this is our fourth one like this, no?
I think it's our fourth, yeah. That sounds right.
I don't know if we did a 2019 or not.
Man, 387 episodes. That is insane.
Yep.
And half of it's Ariew.
I've only been on like 40.
Oh, only 40 episodes.
Only 40 episodes.
I think you hold
it's
the
only
record,
10%. It's not
10%. 10%.
Yeah.
And lately, I haven't been on very much at all. I think this is the first time in like 6 months or more.
Yeah.
That's been a little bit.
It's been a while.
We did something recently.
It might.
with
No,
EJ.
I think it was the last special. I think it was like the Christmas
No.
special or something.
It might have been
Honestly,
almost a year ago. Yeah.
I think
you were
so.
on this year. Were you
No.
not on this year with EJ?
I don't know.
I swore you were.
That
on
was
with
the
EJ this
Christmas special. I'm
What
pretty sure that
happened
was
to
the
us?
Christmas special.
Yeah, time is doing weird stuff.
Yeah.
year. Yeah, but we had
Time
a weird
keeps on
year.
spinning into the future.
Into
We
the
had-
future.
Into
Yeah.
the future. And then we had the future episodes.
Right.
That's true.
Oh, those future episodes. Man, we were so wrong.
Oh man, you're very wrong.
Oh my gosh. Who would have predicted how wrong we would be?
Right.
Gosh.
Remember, you were gonna have a kid, and the kid was flying some sort of device around your house.
Yeah. Babsy.
Babsy. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Oh, that just made me sad.
Who's calling
Uh-oh.
in? Jen. Call in, Jen. Jen, call in.
Jen.
Call in. I bet you got tons of creative Halloween stuff to talk about with us. Come on. Give us a Skype. Yeah, we did this future
I haven't watched a
predictions.
single episode of
Simpsons. That's sad.
Aw,
It is
House of Horror.
so sad.
Aw.
You need
Yeah,
to do that.
I-
You got to get a couple in today at least. At least the good ones.
Maybe while I'm on the. I mean, which are the good ones? There's so many good ones.
1 through 10.
1 through 10, because those are the only ones you've watched.
No, I mean they're always
According
my
to
favorite.
IMDb, those are the best ones.
Well, here's the thing. I've watched the part. I watched the top 10 ones. Some of them 3 times, 4 times already because they're my
Yeah.
favorites. I just once I get past 10, I'm like, just have it on to have it on. No
Maybe
big
you
deal.
know what? I think I did watch a few of them. I did actually with my kid, with my youngest. You know, now he's like old enough to where, you know, he can do a little bit. But I watched the monkey paw one. You know,
Oh,
that
yeah.
one's so good.
You'll
The monkey
be
paw one is one of the
sorry.
best.
He was at that booth right over. He's
It
gone.
comes with a free Frogurt.
That's good.
It also it has benzoates and
Potassium benzoate.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's bad.
That's bad.
That's
Can I go
bad.
now?
That one's the Krusty the Clown doll one.
Yeah.
You know, I was working at Spencer Gifts when I was fresh out of high school, like you do.
You drive your
I was
Corsica?
the assistant manager there.
You drive your Corsica to the mall.
No, at that point I had a Honda Civic, but it was a
okay.
1989 Honda Civic.
Okay.
So, yeah, while I was working there, we used to sell lots of Simpsons toys and stuff like that. And oh boy, where'd Ariew go?
I'm still here. What's going on?
Oh, is that this doing that?
Oh,
man,
it's
Skype is so dang
the
wonky.
ghost of Ariew.
Skype
He
is
turned
so
into a
wonky.
Skype signal.
Turned into a Skype.
All right, we got a caller coming in. And-
Hold on, let me finish my story. So we used to sell
Why can't I merge this call?
I don't know. We used to sell Simpsons stuff all the time.
All right, hold
You
on. I'll
know,
add you in.
and they had we got in the evil Krusty dolls, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are gonna be collectible. So I put 2 of them on layaway, you know, and I bought them, and I don't know where they are. I have no clue where they are. I was so upset because I went and looked them up. They're like $200 now if you want them in the package, but they're so cool.
All right, caller. I've added you
Oh my
to this
God,
call.
Justin LeDuc. I'm dressing
Yeah.
up as Octane Brigade. I'm going to tell everyone on my neighborhood's Facebook group that I'm going to be trick-or-treating in the best costume ever, and then I'm just going to stay home.
Yeah. Burn.
That's so sad. I actually, just the other day, checked to see if Brigade was out yet, and of course, no.
No, it's not.
But Octane finally has lens flares, or a lens flare.
They have, and
Yeah.
also the post volumetrics are rad.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Super rad.
Yeah, I started watching. Raphael Rao's got a really good breakdown on all the new
Mm-hmm.
new stuff and things.
I saw that. It was
Yeah.
killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready to do a summon?
Summon. Let's summon.
Let's do it.
Let me save my
What is it?
Scene changes. Yeah. The summon is
In the name of people.
no, by the power of Winkleman.
By the power of Winkleman.
Yeah. All right, you ready? Here we go.
Yep, sure.
Get that music going. Where's my music?
I don't know.
I didn't have my soundboard this year, so I'm just hitting the manual cues.
Just
here.
hitting the buttons.
Yeah, here we go. All right, here we go. Summoning. By the power of Winkleman.
Peopleman.
We summon
We summon.
Jen Van Horn. Hey.
What's up?
What's up, Jen?
I just spent like 8 minutes trying to sign into Skype because I haven't Skype in like 2 years.
That's like every episode we
Right.
have with a new person on. Why is she in the left side as well?
On the left side?
Yeah.
What are you
Is that
talking about?
normal?
Are you talking about my screen being on?
Yeah, the screen
I just
on
got
the
my desktop on. That's my
Oh,
desktop.
okay.
Whoop,
I
whoop.
thought that was weird.
Nice.
I left my
Yeah.
desktop on.
I love this the semi-transparency.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
spooky.
Very
You can
ghost-like.
see the MoGraph logo through your face.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
fun.
Put it like on my forehead.
And hopefully I'm not expecting too much here, but you got to be doing a bunch of stuff for Halloween, right? Like
No, I bought a big bag of candy telling myself I would have trick-or-treaters, but I live in an apartment.
Yeah.
No one's coming to my door.
Yeah.
So I'm probably just gonna watch Haunting of Hill House till late, or I also have a big stack of Hitchcock movies that I like
Nice.
to watch. But I am gonna dress up in costume for the gram, and just to
Nice.
have. I haven't really jumped on the bandwagon of getting a onesie, so I got a bear onesie, and
Nice.
I'm gonna be the sleepy time tea bear.
I love it.
So I've got like a nightshirt, a nightcap, and a big mug.
That's
So-
awesome.
You could you could go to a bar with a bunch of like tea bags filled with weed, you know, and start like passing those out.
Does it work like that?
I don't know.
That's a good idea.
You
Maybe in
know.
Colorado.
Dave's
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
Hmm.
you're in Colorado, so
Everybody's already high. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
right.
just go into any place there's
But
like a bowl.
no, people, you know, they're trick or treating, so you give them a tea bag full of weed.
I love it. That's funny.
Don't give it away. Keep it for yourself. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, drugs are
Thanks for
expensive.
sharing.
Yeah.
Giving them out.
Wouldn't know. I
It's a
don't do
social
them.
drug.
But yeah, so just hanging out on a Tuesday. It's just weird when Halloween's on a weekday.
Right.
I don't know why we haven't,
Yeah.
as a world, decided
Yeah.
it should just be on a weekend.
Well, right before
Like
COVID happened.
Thanksgiving or something.
Yeah.
Like it's always the last Saturday of the year.
Well,
Yeah.
they were talking about trying to do some legislation for that.
Mhm.
Actually make it official right before COVID. Never forgot about it. You know,
Yeah.
because COVID happened, but it would be nice for the kids to like on a Friday or Saturday, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Did you guys ever
It's-
like grow up with really epic trick-or-treating experiences?
No, I grew up with
No.
those plastic masks that you
Right.
put over
Oh,
your
yeah.
face and the pajamas that were so effing cold that you basically just wore a heavy coat over the entire time.
That's
Yeah.
true. Those
I relate
masks
to
are
that.
creepy.
Oh my gosh, they were like they would cut into your face by the
Right.
end of the night.
Oh, that's
They were
right.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
want to say
eyeballs.
1 year. Let's see, what was I? I don't remember. I was like
Yeah.
a transformer or something. And the thing is,
They
I
all look the
couldn't wear the
same.
mask. I was like 3 or 4 years old. I couldn't wear the mask because it was just cutting into my face the whole time.
That's right. And the nose holes and everything. Man,
Yeah.
I'm looking at them right now on eBay. Do you think?
It's like the episode of The Simpsons when what is it? He's being radioactive man or something, and it says
Oh, yeah.
it's just pajamas.
Because I don't think the
Oh,
real
man.
radioactive man would wear a picture of himself on his own shirt. Yeah, at Halloween he would. Is this it? No. Here, let me see if I can find that display. Nope, it's not that one either. It's one of these. I got too many displays. There we go.
Oh yes, yeah.
yeah. That
good old
Batman
plastic
mask.
mask.
Yeah, I
Good
found a
times.
bunch of them. Yeah, yeah. I
Let's-
oh, you know what I had growing up was one of the I had this one, the plastic Ronald Reagan mask, and I
Yeah.
had
Oh my gosh.
the plastic Nixon mask. Where's the plastic
Okay.
Nixon? Those were, let's see, Nixon mask. I mean, it was like this full-blown
It's
rubber
radioactive
Nixon
man
mask.
saying trick or treat.
Yeah.
I just it's so funny.
This this Nixon mask my parents had and like in their closet, and it was pretty legit. I wore this all the time. And I would try and scare my parents with it.
One year I was Judge Ito. Y'all remember Judge Ito
Oh,
from
Lance Ito.
the O.J. Simpson trial? So I wore like a gown from like a graduation gown, and I put on the mask. And Texas, it's so hot here.
Yeah.
So like you're just sweating in this hairy Judge Ito costume. It was so bad.
I love it.
But at least you had the robes.
There was just one year I did a full-on Skyrim costume because I was like super into Skyrim, and but I did it out of felt, so I had like an axe made out of felt, and I had like the helmet, and I needle pointed the amulet of Mara, and I go to a party, no gamers there. No. I was like, no. I'm like, but it's so funny because I'm an ex-traveler looking for love, and we're like, and I had an arrow to the knee, like a stuffed animal looking arrow.
See, the catch to that though is when you introduce yourself, it takes 45 minutes before you can do anything else.
Right.
Just like the game.
True.
Which I have never beaten because apparently I killed the guy that's supposed to help me beat the game because I found him annoying. And then a friend told me later, like, yeah, I know you needed him. I was like, oh, oops.
That's funny.
Can you get a potion and bring him back?
I saw this video for Baldur's Gate where I guess one of the quests or whatever, you have to bring this guy the head of this woman or this demon or something, right? And so she's in your party, and then you can attack her and cut off her head, and then as you're handing over the head, you can switch players and bring her back to life. So throughout the rest of the game, she's still in your party. She's just headless the whole time.
Oh gosh, that's
really
funny.
That's awesome. I love it.
Have you played Starfield yet?
Mm-mm.
I hear it's just the same game, but it's in space.
In space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's so many weird glitches in that one too, but that's Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh, Bethesda.
What else you got going on? School of Motion?
Yeah, I'm TAing for illustration for motion, and that's been really fun.
Nice.
That's a great class too.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I never wanted to really identify as an illustrator because I wanted to keep that for me.
Right.
Just do it for me. But I don't know, in the last few years, I'm like, okay, I like illustrating. I could get paid for it. Why not?
Yeah.
So getting back into that. In the middle, or I'm about to end a sketch, like a Arttober, whatever sketch challenge for a group called They Draw Together, or They Draw Along, and they have a prompt that's only like, I think it's only 11 different things, so it's not a daily challenge because that can be really hard in October, especially if you're doing a lot of end of the year projects. Getting a daily sketch in is crazy, but
yeah,
been working on that because it's cool because it's food and garden related.
Fun.
And I'd like to get more into the whole food industry for motion. Since it's something I love to do anyway, and what most people know me for. So I'm like, I might as well combine my passions. Why not get paid?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Go hang out on Patrick 4D's Discord in the morning when he's making food renders.
Everyone keeps telling me to go check that out. I'm excited to do that.
That dude's so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in the middle of a challenge myself, trying to eat all the things in my freezer so I can make tamales in your freezer.
It's a never-ending struggle for me, is eating all the food before it goes bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what's in there. I need to. I have like a whiteboard. I need to actually go through everything, inventory, and then make then I'll actually eat it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You watched the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, right?
I did.
What did you think? Are you a fan of the game?
Well, it's funny. I'm a fan of the playthroughs online,
Uh-huh.
So I've never actually played it, but I've watched other people play it, and so there's a few YouTubers I follow that I enjoy their banter when they do a playthrough. So I got hooked about a year ago on all of it, and I watched every single game, every single playthrough, every theory on it, and I don't know, I just got sucked into the lore. So when I watched the movie, I was like, I'm down for how stupid this is going to be anyway. Like, I don't have expectations for like franchise movies. I keep it pretty low, and it was definitely not as scary as I thought they were going to push it, because the game is pretty scary and really dark, but it was a little more playful, but really fun with the cameos. I also watched one of the YouTubers talking about how well they treated the YouTubers. Like, they felt like they were legit actors, and even though he had like 3 lines, they gave him a full trailer and gave him like the whole experience.
Nice.
So yeah, it was really cool to hear that, and how the creator Scott, like, he was on set day 1, and he was like making sure everyone had what they needed.
They probably had extra trailers because of the strikes.
Yeah, me too. That's a good point. But yeah, it I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. But like I said, I don't set a bar anymore, because I just don't want to be disappointed. I'm electing to be entertained. And if I want to judge something and watch it later to judge it, I'll do that later. But I'd rather like the initial thing to just enjoy the ride for for what it is.
I've started doing that where like I like to go into movies completely blind, because I don't want to have these like predisposed like expectations or something. And like the Barbie movie, still haven't even seen it. But anytime something comes up on TikTok or something, I'll fast forward through it or I'll skip it, because I just like I'm going to see it. I just don't necessarily want it, ruined. I hear it's great, but
from what I hear from other people too, like, everyone likes it, but for a reason they never thought they did. Like, it's just you don't want to have a lot of expectations for that movie. That's another one where I just went in. I was like, I had Barbies. I'm excited. I'm here for the ride.
Yeah.
And another thing with FNAF is that they're like we're talking about the lore and stuff. They have so many Easter eggs for every little thing in the game. So I'm excited to see them explore like screen shots, like shot by shot, what kind of stuff's in the background, because you can't not do that for that kind of movie. So and same with Barbie, had a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of hat tips to different movies and stuff. So
that's cool.
Fun.
Yeah. My daughter is really into the jump scare stuff, so all the jump scares, Justin,
that was good.
There's what did Justin say?
He said, I stopped going to movies completely blind. The blindfold ruined the whole experience.
That's funny.
There it is.
Ding. The jump scare stuff, there's a game out, I don't remember the name of it. It just came out where you have to have your microphone on, and if you get scared and scream, you have to start the whole game over.
Oh, that's awesome.
No way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
My daughter's into the jump scare stuff, so's her friends, but she tries to show me stuff Five Nights. It's like, the jump scares. I'm like, I just don't get the jump scare thing.
Yeah.
But that's like what everybody loves, I guess.
I love watching people react to the jump scares, so that's why I like not playing the game, but watching the there wasn't a lot actually in the movie. Not a lot of jump scares as much as we thought there would be.
And I think like the YouTubers are so overplaying the jump scares. It's so funny. Like they overplay the whole thing. Guys, I'm so scared. Guys, I'm so scared, you guys. And it's like, okay.
They like fall backwards on their chair and throw the controller. And...
Is it a VR game or is it just a standard computer game?
Both. I mean, there is a VR.
Did it start as a VR game?
No.
Okay.
I think it was just like a PC streaming kind of game. And then I believe there's a VR, and then later the games get more fun. Like I feel like Security Breach and Ruin were a lot more involved and complex, and I really like those games. So I'd love to see movies based on that. And then I love Sister Location, which was like the circusy kind of not glam rock, but like different designs. So I'm curious to see how this becomes a thing, because I know it's at least probably a 3-movie series based off what the actors are saying they're signing the contracts for. But I believe the first 3 are just based off the first 3 games.
Gotcha.
But it's interesting because there are twists in this where it doesn't follow the lore 100%. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out.
Thanks, Hollywood.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just too much. It's a game, right? So it's very complex. So how to cram that all into one movie is just insane to begin with. So people aren't going to get it if they just don't know lore. And I even poked a friend who posted just like, well, I don't know anything about this game, but this movie, I was like, you don't have an opinion about the movie then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what the 26% critic score is.
Right.
You know?
People are just like, I don't get it. Well, look into it. There's literally...
At the same time, I feel like the movie should stand on its own. Like, if you're going to make a good movie, it can't be like, well, you have to play the game first. Like, I think that's, to me, I
don't know.
Just set it up. Just say,
you should be able to make a movie with a compelling enough story that people all enjoy it, even if they haven't played the game. I'm sorry.
Sure. Sure.
And I kind of do wish that they had gone that route too, but I don't know. As a fan, it made me happy. But as a fan of horror, I could see that this concept has a lot of legs and you could do something really scary for the adults. But because there's just so big of a fan base in the younger space, it needed to be sort of like a glossed over generic kind of thing.
I heard there was something in the movie that would have been better if it were rated R. You know, and they just couldn't. And it's understandable. But yeah, I kind of see that as... like, if you're trying to get people into Five Nights at Freddy's for the first time, you would want to try and hook them with the movie. I kind of get that. You know, you're not going to get a lot of new fans, I guess, from that. They're always going to come from the game, or you know, you need an introductory.
I don't like being scared. So like, I don't watch horror movies, or I especially don't play horror games. I played Parasite Eve on the PlayStation 1, and that was the last horror game I ever played in my life.
Yeah.
Scariest game I think I played was it Dead Space? It was so long ago.
That one was creepy.
3? That one freaked me out. Couldn't play it during the night.
For me, it was like the OG Resident Evil remake for the GameCube.
Resident Evil,
though I'm sure like the new remakes are even scarier. But yeah, they just like the fixed camera angle and the jankiness of the controls like made it even scarier because you're trying to run away from zombies and you're like running into walls instead and like kind of you know, it's like somehow the jankiness actually helped it be way more scary.
I was like back in the day into American McGee's Alice when that was a PC game, which became Alice Madness Returns for PS3, which was like a psychological horror version of Alice.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was so amazing. And then there was all this hype in the last 2 years that there's going to be a third one called Alice Asylum, and they just like said nope. They put the kibosh on the whole thing. It's not going to be. I was like, I could see that becoming a cool series, like horror Alice in Wonderland would be amazing.
That would be kind of cool. It's already it's already creepy to begin with. So
it's dark and twisted already. So why not make it crazy?
Yeah.
So yeah, sad to hear that it's not going to go through on that.
Yeah.
And then I really liked Resistance: Fall of Man. That series was fun.
Oh yeah, I played that. Yeah,
never played that one.
It was like an invasion game, you know.
Yeah, but I thought the designs of all the different creepy crawly stuff was fun. That's probably the first game where I actually like sat down and for 3 days with my friends taking shifts, like naps and shifts to beat that whole game because we were snowed in.
That's funny.
That's cool.
That's good times.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you calling in. We got to give you some candy though.
Ooh.
Before I got to give you the joys. I got my sound effects. Oh, this one. There's my sound effects. Y'all can't hear it, but it's pretty funny.
What does it say?
He's just going. That's all he's doing. He just makes noises, but I don't have my soundboard. Oh well.
Oh well.
There we go.
Well, thanks guys. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, you too.
Happy Halloween.
Take care. Bye. All right, so here's what we'll do on the calls. If you want to call in, hit that QR and send me a text first, and I'll add you. Not a text, but chat to me in Skype, and then I'll add you to the call. It'll be a lot easier to do. So scan that thing. Ariew.
Yo.
Tell us about Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like the people are so like polite and friendly, and like it's the easiest city to navigate ever as an American. Like everything's in English, everybody speaks English.
Hmm.
Yeah, and the show was, so it was the Digital Art Fair Asia in Hong Kong, and like yeah, it was like just the best presentation of digital art that I've ever seen. Like it was treated like a legit art gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Were
so I
the
had
was it projections or was it LED walls?
so I had 3 pieces in a triptych. Each of them were 3 minutes and 33 seconds. So that was mounted on the wall as these OLED LG TVs.
Okay.
So that looked really good because it was 4K. It was like a really nice display. And there was actually a guy that came through that was like a Swiss banker, and I had no clue. He was like dressed in a hoodie, totally unassuming.
Uh-huh.
But
Wow.
Baker's Place was basically representing me for this whole event, and they connected me for this event. And they have they're the only platform out of all the Nifty Gateway, Super Rare, et cetera, that has a person that's their full-time job is to handle collector relationships. So she like
That's
makes all
rad.
really rad, and she's from Sotheby's. So like there are people coming over from the traditional art world that are like, I'm tired of this elitism and the stuffiness, and I want to do something new and be on the bleeding edge of art. And so that's what this is turning into. It's like we're not talking about NFTs anymore. It's more digital art, like a digital art revolution.
Good.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the way
better.
it should be.
It is the way it should be. Yeah, we're not, and it's like hopefully that'll allow digital artists to get outside the bubble. Like that, NFTs is almost like, in a way, it's like all the attention was directed to PFPs, even though Beeple kind of like kicked off the whole thing. It always felt like artists were in this smaller bubble within NFTs, and we didn't have that many opportunities to break out. Like, sure, there were moments like when Nest Graphics did his open edition earlier this year in February, like that, that was a chance, that was like a surge of energy towards the artists and a lot of the PFP people discovering art, in a new way and all that. But yeah, it's like we didn't have a whole lot of time in the spotlight. So it really feels like there's a new movement forming that's just digital art. And like, yeah, people like Hong Kong and Asia in general, they're so much more tech forward and forward thinking with technology. So it makes sense that that's where a lot of the market is going to be, as well as like places like Dubai and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, to get back to the actual fair, so yeah, I had 3 pieces in a triptych. I also had another 70 or whatever inch screen with my 11-minute meditation, 1 of 1 playing. And then I had another screen that was the open edition, which sold 74 of those for $100 each. And then the triptych were limited editions. Those all sold out as well, which was awesome. And then there's the VR experience that I had. Which is like a 2.5-minute VR experience. It's like my VR Genesis. And I have like a representation of that experience on the blockchain. So the token isn't the VR experience itself, because that would be weird to like, you basically would see it unwrapped, and it's like in both eyes and whatnot. So it's like, how do you sell a VR experience on the blockchain? So for that, I basically created just like a turntable of a MetaQuest Pro headset in like golden light in a room, made it like all artful. So basically I'm trying to figure, and same thing with the immersion room. It's like you have to figure out a way to represent, like something that's more complex. Like that's an experience. The immersion room is 4 walls. Like how do you represent that on the blockchain? So I created a separate piece with metal figures, basically like a previs, but with metal figures fully rendered with the immersion room playing back on all the digital walls. So it's like the digital version of the experience, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, the actual immersion room, they used projectors, and that was the part that I felt wasn't presented as well as it could have been. Like the guys that they hired didn't align the projectors properly at first, and it was like, so they're dead zones and fuzzy. I'm like, did you wipe the freaking lens? And they're like, no. So they wiped it and it got a bit better. And that, like when I first got there, they were trying to crush my art to shit. Like they were like, it's not contrasty enough. I'm like, guys, it's the black point. You're not going to make it darker. Like this is additive light,
right?
It's like it. So the issue was that they hadn't painted the walls the right color. They had painted them white instead of light gray.
Right.
And then on top of that, like their projector system which I don't know what media server they were using, but it was shit. And it wouldn't even play back my file at 30 FPS. So they had to play it back at 25. And so it was stuttering the whole time. And I like literally got in a war with the projector guy where I kept going back and switching it back to 30. You know, even though it would crash, I'm like, I don't care if it crashes, fucking restart it. Like, do your job and come back and like restart the thing because you're making me look bad. So, you know, but I chilled out on that after a while and I just kind of gave up. But it like we presented it more as a prototype. You know, it's like, okay, this is like a demo of what it could look like, but you know, really for your casino or, you know, hotel or whoever, you know, there were like some really big investors coming through. It's like for those people, it's like, okay, for your museum, you would want to set it up with LED walls and mirrored floor and ceiling, you know, and there were like tons of regulations too in China where they can't do like everything that goes above has to be cleared and they have to get inspectors in there because like 6 months ago or a year ago,
what do you mean everything that goes above?
Like everything, like the projectors, the trusses, anything that's
above. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. So like apparently like a year ago or so, there was a concert and literally an LED screen fell on someone and they're still like either they're still in a coma or they're paralyzed for life. I don't know. I heard multiple stories. But
I know what concert you're talking about. I think because I saw that disaster on TikTok. That was really bad.
Yeah. So that changed the regulations across the board to where it's incredibly difficult they couldn't do the mirrored floor and ceiling or any of that, you know. They couldn't even drape a black cloth over it, which would have helped the light, you know, leak a whole lot. But, you know, it's all good. Like, it was the most, like, I think, personal experience that I've ever had, like sharing my art with people. Like, people came through and the VR experience especially, like, made a huge impact on people. Like some people actually came out of there crying. And, you know, there was this one woman that was like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm like this. It's like, I was in there and I thought I heard voices and it triggered memories of, you know, a long time ago. And it's like,
crazy.
That was the drugs, but
no, I mean, it's interesting, the difference in culture too. Like, everyone's, you know, a bit more reserved. Like they don't really clap. Like we did one of the tours through the whole, like a VIP tour through the whole exhibition. Nobody, you know, clapped at anything, but also they're maybe more thoughtful and I don't know. They really connected with my art, which was awesome. Like, and people would like come and see it on like one of the VIP days, and the next day they would bring their whole family back or bring friends back to check out the VR experience. It was really cool. You know, and like there was like a whole like you know, group of kids that came through and they all got in there, and a lot of the kids were scared. They were like, it's scary. And then another kid's like, it's really fun but really scary. Fun and scary, you know. It's like lots of really cute. And then there was this one woman that was like, is this the path to death? Is this the spirit path to death? And I'm like
yes.
Something like
yes it is.
And then she gets out of there and she's like, it made me feel like I was, you know, going to, you know, that it was the end of my life and I was going to the next life, but it was peaceful and it made me like peaceful with, like, I literally think it can help people with existential crises and like, you know, any of that kind of death anxiety, interestingly, because it puts you in a place where you're seeing off into infinity and you're like gracefully drifting, almost like a soul untethered from your body, because you don't see your hands and, you know, legs in VR. And so that's actually helpful in this case. And because of like the infinite complexity of it, it just puts people in a really like peaceful trance-like state. And I think it could be actually used in a therapeutic way, which is crazy to think about. Like, you know, as artists, we don't think of our art having more meaning than, well, I helped a client make a cool ad. You know, it's like, I mean, maybe more like maybe we have dreams of like making a short film or a cartoon or whatever that's like that breaks through that, you know, that like client relationship or whatever. But that's the thing I love about art is that, you know, you have a chance to dig into what is meaningful to you and then share that with other people, you know, and that's not something we get to do a whole lot as like guns for hire, you know. So that's why I gravitate towards NFT land so much. But yeah, and there was this other guy, like his name's Howard. He was just setting up at the fair, and you know, everybody. It's funny. He was like, He's like, oh yeah, my son has VR. I'll hop in for a second. Everyone's like, yeah, I'll get in for 30 seconds or something, and then they stay for like 10 minutes, and like just they're like, some people just like freeze, and other people like start to look around and then settle and freeze, but like some people just get like totally like gridlocked. It's pretty crazy to see. But so Howard, he came out of there and he was like, you know what, this is the land of the gods, and you need to be careful with who you give this to. It's in the wrong hands. And it's like, whoa, like I was not expecting like these really like deep and powerful reactions from people. And it was just like a really, really satisfying experience.
The main reason I'm excited to go to Europe is to go to all the mini museums. I love, and I love art. And I love museums, and I love just getting lost in art, and it's so wonderful that art museums, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to have those Ferris Bueller moments where you're staring back at the artwork and it's staring back at you,
Totally.
And
totally.
So that's that, and congrats on that, because
Thanks,
being able to do that, I'm extremely jealous.
Yeah, getting an emotional response from something you create is always a great feeling.
Yeah.
It's hard too. Like that is the hardest thing to do. I've made some short films that got earlier on in my career. It was the best I hoped for was a sense of awe. Like people would be like, whoa, that's so fucking cool. Or, when I made that Ice Caves music video, some people had an emotional response to the story and felt a little bit touched by it. But it's really different. This is the first time I felt like my art has moved from something you watch and consume and then scroll to the next thing to an actual experience. So that's what I'm pushing towards next is whether it's immersion rooms, I'm in contact with this one guy in Dubai who has this fully circular immersion room that's LED, and he just put the file in there and it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to re-render the whole damn thing for that because it's taller. So it's gonna be another 3 months of rendering, but it's gonna be worth it.
Hey man, get
your stuff.
Get the render network.
Sphere.
Render
yeah.
network.
I actually just did a job for the Sphere.
That's cool.
It's a giant Coke pour, like waterfalls of Coca-Cola.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just watched that LED collapse. Everyone was talking about it in the chat.
Oh no!
I had to watch
so
it.
Bad.
Oh man, it basically slices right down the middle of someone.
You don't want. Yeah, you don't want to see it. Yeah.
Oh,
it sucks.
That's awful.
The closest I ever got to, the last time I ever got an emotional response was something I did in high school. So, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
I used to do funeral collages all the time, so I got emotional responses a lot.
Man.
Yeah.
Damn,
that's gnarly.
Very, very.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
crappy
tough.
way for getting an emotional response.
That sucks. Yeah.
I've got not to be a downer, but I have to do that for my dad this week, and
that's
because, and I've thought it has gone through my head many times in my life, because I've done slideshows and stuff. I'm like, someday I'm going to have to do this for my family, and it's going to suck.
I had to do one for my cousin who I was really close with. He died of a brain tumor, and
Dave,
I told him that I would do it.
I didn't know you lost your dad. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, he
when
passed
did that?
the beginning of October. Yeah, it's been a long month. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awful.
we had the official family funeral last week, but we're doing a celebration next week. It's a little more upbeat, music and stuff. I'm gonna play the drums.
Nice.
I gotta learn these songs and stuff. So
I'm a motion designer, and I work primarily in the funeral industry.
The funeral, yeah. The emotional response that I got in high school was when I was a freshman. You probably had this when you had the school TV show, and they would get some of the actor kids or the theater kids to do a little video skit about drunk driving. And it would always be something real stupid, right? And it would look like crap because they shot it on their home video camera, and it was so bad that it was funny, and everyone was laughing at what they were doing. you know, at these theater kids just goofing around, pretending they were drunk. And I was like, this is stupid. Like, this doesn't get the point across. The whole point is to tell people not to drink. So when I finally got to a point in that class where I could do it, I'm like, no, this has to be like serious. So I wrote this whole script. I went through and found like the right sappy audio and the whole thing, and I just made this incredibly sad script where somebody loses their kid and they're at the grave site and all of this, and like there was this little montage at the end where it was super silent and the whole school was like silent, and I was like, that's right.
So
get them.
On a similar vein, so we had our high school stuff as well. And one of the commercials we did, we had a donut shop, the Kolache, shop down in our thing, and we did this commercial where it was like, it's like one of those local car commercials. It's like, come on down to Kolache shops, we got all sorts of things, right? So we ended up on this. We did a drunk driving one as well, and it was really sad and emotional and blah blah blah. But they taped over like that Kolache spot or whatever, but they didn't stop it at the correct time. So it gets to this, it's like really emotional, sad, and then all of a sudden you see, come on down to the Kolache shop, we got Kolaches. It's like, oh man.
You ruined it.
Good. You ruined it.
All right, we're going to take one more call. First of all, I did not advertise this show at all. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody was prepped to call in.
It's all right. It's our annual talk with Ariew, figuring out what's going on in his life.
That's
right. I can talk more about Hong Kong. That trip was crazy.
Well, real quick before you do that.
How was the food?
Hold on. If I get one more person to call in, we'll do that before we go. So we just need one more person. But okay, go ahead, Ariew. Sorry.
Okay, I don't know. The food was, well, I went to the best Japanese restaurant I've ever been to in my life with
in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong. Well, yeah, I mean it's like a big city. It's like New York. They've got Uber is Uber. You don't I didn't have to change my phone anything.
That's nice.
It was super nice.
Nice.
All my credit cards worked. But yeah, like they've got a big restaurant scene in general. Like one of the best restaurant scenes apparently ever. But I didn't necessarily love Chinese food. It's kind of like American Chinese food, but more bland mixed with American food. I don't know if that makes sense at all.
Maybe they just saw you were American and didn't put any flavor into it.
Perhaps. No, I definitely had a lot of different types of Chinese food. Like there was a day where I was on a yacht all day, which was pretty
nice.
Yeah. So this collector, her name's Angela. She's like one of these types of people who got tired of the traditional art world, got tired of the elitism, and was, she's like a sci-fi nerd. And she, she jumped into Web3 when it first started, basically. And so she's just like one of these renegade personalities. But we all became like really good friends. Like we connected first over Beeple because she was like friends with Beeple, and she had this story about, her daughter like accidentally stealing his weed. First she stole his brownie, and then she stole his weed the next day, and she was like making fun of Beeple how he doesn't want to eat food anywhere, like because he's just used to his like white bread, American food, and so he was like not wanting to eat anything. But yeah, so we like Chelsea and I just became really good friends with her, and we hung out with her like pretty much 4 days in a row. We went to her house up at the top of Hong Kong Island, or like the main island, which was crazy. And then the next day we extended our trip so that we could do the yacht thing, because it was just like a whole day on the boat, and you sail out past this huge amusement park up on a mountain, and then like we just parked the boat. And like the water, it's like pretty close to the equator, so the water is like warm, most of the year. And like at first we didn't want to swim, but she like kind of, pushed us into it. So Chelsea and I went and swam from the boat to this small island,
That's fun.
It's like a 10-minute swim. And I think that's the first time in my life that I've like used swimming as a vehicle to get somewhere, you know, to get to a destination. Like, yeah, I've swam in a pool a whole bunch. I was on the swim team in high school, and like
you were, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I wasn't that good, but you know, it was fine.
I gotta get my drink. I'll be right back. Keep going.
And then like, you know, it's like we've all swam out into the ocean and back, but that's not quite the same as like swimming to a destination, you know? So that was like really somehow really, really fun. And we like showed up to the beach, and there was like a little barbecue private party going on. Just like maybe, you know, 10 people, but someone from our boat knew someone in the party, which was like the biggest coincidence ever. So we all just kind of like integrated and hung out there for an hour and talked to people and had a little beach party and drinks, and then we swam back. But yeah, it was just like the chillest day ever. Yeah, I don't know what else. Like the CEO of Ferrari went into my VR.
All right.
Like, dude's worth like at least $2 billion, and he like comes through with his entourage, and like they've got like a security detail, and you just know like who the CEO is, because he's like the most charismatic and like just like hyped up, you know. And he came out of the immersion room, and then like just somehow like dove right into VR. I don't even remember, like it just happened so fast. And he like gets in there for 30 seconds, takes off the headset and goes, "Incredible." And then like throws it onto his friend's head, like just like kind of clonks it on his head. And, like it was just, I don't know, it was just funny. And then this other woman, Vivian Tam, who's like a famous fashion designer, she super loved the immersion room and all of the spiritual imagery and whatnot. And so she wants to maybe like do a fashion show with my art involved. It was just like opportunity after opportunity. Like there was this guy that's got a club, and he wants to use my art in his you know, nightclub or whatever, on all the LED hexagon panel things. And then there was Adrian Cheng, who's like, you know, from the richest family in China. He came through, and he owns the whole building that this was, you know, happening in. And so they, you know, everybody like hunkered down and made sure that everything was running right and whatever. And he had like bodyguards that I didn't even see that were like super stealthy. So it was like lucky that I got to even meet this dude. And yeah, he came through, and he bought one of my pieces, which was really amazing. Nice. Yeah. So I don't know. It was just like a really, I don't know. It was just a really awesome trip. And the team at Maker's Place is so good. Like I was honestly shocked, because Maker's Place, as you guys know, was pretty much the underdog throughout the entire NFT bull run. But they've recently, like a year ago, a new CEO stepped in. His name is Craig Palmer, and he he had two really successful companies that he sold. One of them was a company that created, basically, you know, when you put a CD into your car and it reads the data off of the CD and tells you what title the song is. He created a company that first did that. And I was like, oh, was it, you know, reading like the, you know, waveforms or something off of a CD? And he was like, no, it just reads the track lengths and matches the track lengths
to a database.
To a database, yeah. So that was one. And then he also created the site Fandom, which is like Wikipedia for all the Star Wars nerdy fans and whatnot. And apparently it's got like more pages than Wikipedia, more info than Wikipedia now. But he's just the kind of person that, like, yeah, he could retire obviously forever, but he really enjoys being on the bleeding edge.
Yeah.
The car key? It's in your cubby. It's in your cubby. So, you know, he just really loves being on the bleeding edge, and otherwise he gets bored. So, you know, and he knows how to design a company like from the ground up and like take something that's kind of failing and give it new life. So the company now has like 30 or 40 employees, whereas like Super Rare and Nifty Gateway have both shrunk way down in the bear market. And they've got like a lot of, you know, money in the bank basically. So they're making smart decisions and they're transforming into a fine art platform. Like that's what the NFT or the artist space, the digital art space needs, is like they need to treat themselves as digital fine artists. And that kind of you know, treatment will, I think, attract people from the traditional art world because they're used to a certain level of presentation. And, you know, obviously we can lose the shit about lose the shitty parts of the traditional art world, like the things that we don't like. But I think in the beginning with NFTs, there was such a counterculture, like we're renegades, fuck the traditional art world, like those guys are idiots, like we're doing things our new way. And it's like, well, that worked sort of, but not really. It's like all the money's in the traditional art world, guys. If you want to be taken seriously and appeal to those collectors, then you need to like talk the talk. You need to form like personal relationships with collectors. And I don't know. Well, that's actually a new thing. Actually, that didn't happen in the traditional art world. And that's why one reason NFTs are cool is that there's less of that, snobbery and more just like down to earth vibes. But yeah, you know what I mean? That like, it's, yeah.
Have you tried the new MetaQuest with like some of the AR stuff yet?
No, I've got a MetaQuest Pro, and I think that one's handling my VR experience pretty well, but I still feel very limited by the technology. I can't take it above 4,500 by 4,500 pixels, or like introduce any, or I can't. It's like pretty compressed. The frame rate's not 60. I wish it was 60, and yeah, the resolution's not good enough for me. But I'm just waiting for the Vision Pro, the Apple headset, because that's gonna be such a game changer. And I think probably the field of view is going to be better and everything. So I
read somewhere that the screens, just the screens themselves for both the eyes and the external, I mean, that was $900 just in costs.
I believe it.
That's why the cost is so.
I think the external eyeball screen is a stupid idea, but the rest of it is, the fact that the resolution's so good. Now the resolution in the new Meta Quest is better than what was in the Pro. It all around, it's better than the Pro. And my question is, are they going to keep doing a Pro, or are they just going to go back to this?
Oh, all around it is better than the Pro?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Then maybe I got to order
even
one.
Resolution. You can do same-day pickup and get them at Best Buy right now. They're not,
cool.
I mean, they're in demand, but
they're not like flying off the shelves or anything.
I think they are, but I think that they are well-stocked the way that a company should do it, is they planned ahead because they knew the holidays were coming.
Cool. So what's better about the device than the Pro?
Okay, so I was one of those people who went with the Pro even though I had a 2 and it wasn't much better, in my opinion, than what I already had. But if it did have the color pass-through. The color pass-through is better. The resolution is way better.
Okay.
And processing-wise, I believe is even... There was only like one stat I saw that was any different. But I do believe that it will probably handle your videos better.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I think you should... I think it's worth it. I think the
Dude,
3 is worth the
I'm
upgrade.
on such a VR frenzy that I'm like, if you tell me that there's any device that can handle my imagery better, I'm gonna go buy it.
Yeah. I would look. There's a lot of comparison charts, but really, it's. I feel like some of the processing power would help you, and then also the fact
that's
that
the biggest thing for me is how much it can handle processing at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's certain file formats I think that you could probably play with as well. But
I played with H.265 and it wasn't any better. And like I tried, I was talking to this guy that was really deep into VR stuff. He's friends with Jan. We had a little group going, but he was encouraging me to use like after codecs and whatnot, and that just made it even worse. Like when I compressed it with after codecs or any of the other ones, I don't know. So I'm just sticking with H.264, but yeah, if I can get that bit rate up anymore, that'll help so much.
Yeah. That's it. You don't want to bring the quality down. You want the hardware to be faster.
Exactly.
And that's kind of where we're at. But even if you want to mess with mixed reality stuff, that's the way to go. Oh man, I mean, have you seen like the 3D Mario? Like
no,
it does like
I haven't seen it.
Imagine like 2D regular scrolling like Mario 1 original, like, but everything's extruded, and like the whole map's extruded and it's sitting on your table and you can play it, but the rest of everything else is just your room, right? So it's just sitting on the table. I mean, everything it can do with like it has LiDAR, so it can see everything in your room, all of that.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm just wondering what we'll be able to do with the new Unreal tools for MoGraph mixed with some AR, VR, mixed reality type stuff. You know, imagine you can just...
Totally.
Oh, and the hand stuff. The hand tracking is pretty on point. You don't
Oh,
have
really?
to use
That's
the
cool.
controllers.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
I mean,
With
imagine...
with the new one?
Yeah, with the new one, imagine that you...
That's great.
You know, you take your hands and, like, move them around, and you can move them through a field of MoGraph effectors, you know, that kind of thing. But it's in your room, and then you can... I've been playing with this one app that lets you do all sorts of stuff. Bring in, like, sketch, you know, 3D models and stuff. Add bounce to them, add physics, dynamics. You could throw them against your wall. You could throw a ball against your wall and catch it with your bare
That's
hand.
fun.
No controller.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh,
you're
wow.
just bouncing the ball.
That's
or you could
cool.
grab something and look at it. It's definitely worth going from the 2 to the 3, and it is worth it going from the Pro to the 3. But I believe you'll like it, and I think that some of the hype about it online, like on TikTok and stuff, is really pushing sales as well. So
Nice. That's awesome. How much does it cost?
$400
Oh wow, that's cheap as hell.
I thought it was
compared
more than that.
If you
The
want to
Pro
get the
is
bigger
still
one.
1,000.
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to get the bigger one, it's more money. But honestly, like,
What's
for
the bigger
me,
one?
It's just bigger. It's just more space. But I'm like, I don't really put anything on the headset itself. Like, I don't have
Right.
that many games.
So
I
it's
can
not
just
like more processing. It's literally just more space.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just, you know, it's just like getting an iPhone with more room.
right.
you know.
Don't need that.
Yeah. So it's really cool, and personally, I am more of a fan of having the strap on the back of the head instead of that weird pad thing.
No.
Although it's easier to lock in for sure. Like if you're just kind of passing it around, but if you're gonna wear it and like sit in a chair or anywhere where like you're at your desk or have like something that's gonna be hitting the back of your neck, like if you're sitting in bed trying to draw or something, you're gonna be annoyed
Yeah.
by it.
I got you.
So
what's the deal with the new Unreal Engine MoGraph thing? I'm not really. I saw that came out, but I don't really know anything.
Project Avalanche. I'm really excited for this. So it's kind of like a After Effects C4D MoGraph thing. You know,
you can do a lot of
so like you can bring in 3D elements, you can bring in 2D elements, you can do
well, data is the big thing. You can have
yeah. So like
very data driven on the fly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is super cool, and being able to change specific like elements, you know, similar to like Mogurt templates or something like that, you know, but also being able to incorporate 3D models, and you've got cloner tools such as like linear and object and all this other stuff. It's like, and then you've got effectors as well that you can use with it. So it's like if you're doing some of the more basic stuff where
are they just ripping off C4D in that sense, or is it like
it sure looks like it? I will say, and like I was thinking, how are they getting away with it? You know, if they're trying to keep this good relationship with Maxon,
right?
I don't know.
No.
I thought it was interesting, but like I don't know why After Effects hasn't had these things, you know, ever.
Totally.
Like cloners and effectors, like
it's like the slowest piece of shit. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
we all
legacy
bitch about
code.
it, but it's like,
I will tell you, it's much better on a Mac.
Yeah,
like
I know.
This Mac
All
Studio
of
I've got,
Adobe-
so great. Yeah.
all of Adobe's better on a Mac. Photoshop's way better on a Mac. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm fine with here, but yeah, I don't know.
I am excited to get into it and give it a try, you know, and since I've done, you know, a fair amount of Unreal Engine and I know my way around it, you know, I'm really excited to bring the skills from After Effects over to that and give it a try. So
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we're an hour 20. Matt, you got to go to Europe.
I got to go to Europe,
so
and I got to finish packing.
We didn't have any
all
more callers.
7 of my bags.
Yeah. So
you gotta put the word out early, I guess, if you want.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's been a month for me, so.
Yeah, I'm totally, man. I completely understand.
Yeah.
It's been a lot more than that, dude.
We'll promote. Well, it's been a year, but it's for me personally, it's been a month. So I'm trying to just catch up. I post the show like the advertisement for the show or the artwork like an hour before we go live. So you know.
Right.
What was I gonna ask you? One last thing. I don't remember, but David, you've got let's see, davidariew.com, right?
That works.
AriaVisuals.com.
AriaVisuals.com, but
Yeah.
DavidAriew.com will
Yeah.
go to the same place.
Same place.
I think. Let me see.
Are you going to the mall later?
Yep, it does. Yep.
And then Matt.
Are you? I haven't heard that one in a while.
Yeah. Are you going to the mall? Matt, what's your sign? What's your handle?
It's either Matt Milstead or _ Matt Milstead.
Word. And I'm MoGraph Dave, except on TikTok. I'm not MoGraph Dave on TikTok. I'm Zeta Renders. Come check out the Zeta Renders and come check out my DJing live streams.
Mm-hmm.
Hell
I don't do
Send
any
in
live
the
streams.
requests.
I'm a lurker on TikTok.
You don't even have a
because
profile picture, and it irks me.
I know. People get mad at me because I'll make comments and then they'll be like, "Whatever, you're a bot because you don't have a PFP
User
and you only have 13
413265.
followers." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then I'm stuck with all these comments
Yeah.
for like days and days and days.
No cap on
I don't
God.
care. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. If you're watching the
man.
live stream right now, we're going to do the other episodes from the past. So you can check those out. If you're watching this live stream direct, it should just automatically move over. So we appreciate everybody hanging out for Halloween. We'll try and advertise it a little more next year. But we will be doing the Christmas one, I'm sure, with EJ, if we can work all of that out, the holiday episode. And next week on Monday, we're going to be getting the London. Well, Thursday. This Thursday is going to be the live stream from London. But then, if you're listening on the podcast, you will hear it on Monday, and we'll be doing that for the next few weeks. We're also going to try and throw in an episode with Jules if we can work that out here pretty soon. We'd love to talk about all the new things, and ask where Brigade is. There was a statement about that, but I'd love to chat about that and just see where it is. You know, I know that they're trying to get it right. It's better they get it right because, you know, everybody's complaining about it, but you know what happens? They release it early and it doesn't work, and everybody would complain.
Yeah. Redshift was first to market with Redshift RT, and we see how that went.
That's how that went. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm interested to check that out. And again, thanks to everybody for watching. You can check us out on iTunes, leave a review in your podcatcher of choice, help get our ratings up. You can also buy our T-shirts. Say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the MoGraph shirts. Well, for right now, for Halloween, you should get the Render Things T-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. It's getting chilly, you know.
Yeah.
Paul Babb, Field of Bab shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The MoGraph Blandishment shirt. The That Renders Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear ironically.
Unless you're Shams.
Unless you're Shams.
Or Chris.
Or Chris. Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to add that in
Which
there.
Chris?
Chris.
Can we still say that
Chris
about
Schmidt?
Shams, though? I don't know if she even says that anymore. I feel like she outgrew the fire phase, I feel.
She says it more as like nonchalant, like in a nonchalant way.
More like ironic fire. That's so fire.
Yeah.
Well, not even that, but like we'll put it into a sentence, like, "Oh yeah, cool," because that's totally fire. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's
so
just
not quite as hyped up. More like a toned down.
Right.
Fire.
Yeah.
Chris Clemson.
Like, cool fire.
He wears it unironically.
Cool fire.
Oh,
Yeah.
that Chris.
Cool fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool fire. That's throwback. Wow.
Yeah.
I miss cool fire.
I miss Cool Fire too.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great Halloween. Go get yourself some candy.
Yep.
And we're gonna get out of here. Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm David.
Have a good one.
Happy Halloween,
Later,
yo.
Stand by. Scary music going.
Right back.
Generic sounding, not quite thriller, copyright. Niner. Right. Let's turn off these interweb streams here.